She was in an abusive relationship, and all of this stuff led to the Department of Social Services intervening and taking control of the child. And then the aunt stepped in at that moment and decided to become, uh, a temporary. Right now, she's just a temporary uh, custodian. There's nothing final about it. She's temporary. My client still has her full parental rights. She just doesn't have visitation. So it's important that you understand the difference between custody and visitation. You can have full custody, and the other party can still exercise visitation. Custody generally just uh, pertains to the right to make decisions, the decision maker. When you talk about custody, that's generally the decision maker. Most jurisdictions, favor, most states favor a kind of a joint custody arrangement in which um, both parents serve uh, as decision maker. They make decisions on where the child goes to school, uh, doctor, healthcare decisions, participation in extracurricular activities at school, and things like that. So the custody is different than visitation. So let's talk about it. But anyway, I've been, guys, you can call it 559-335-3331 if you have a question about custody or visitation. So we had a couple of court hearings, and the very last court hearing we had, which was supposed to be a final hearing, my client, this maybe been 4 months ago, it was a final hearing. We were supposed to see, after the evidence was shown, whether or not we got visitation. All we're asking for is visitation, because my client has not lost her custody rights. It's important you understand that. You can still have custody, but not have visitation for several different reasons. So the hearing a few months ago, even though the aunt, and we'll call her the evil aunt, despite the fact of her saying she doesn't care if my client sees her child, she says, and she'll tell you, we don't care, we've never objected, but they have. They've made it impossible for my client to even do the basic of things, where she just wants to see her at a ball game, see her cheerleading. That's all she wants. So the evil aunt has made it tough for my client to get visits, to even see. And so we went the last time, and unknown to me, and my client had certainly forgotten, she had a couple of unpaid tickets, speeding tickets. Everyone watching here has probably forgotten about a speeding ticket that they were supposed to pay. Or someone told them maybe they'd take care of it and see if they could take it to court and get it dismissed. You see attorneys do that all the time. They'll go to court on behalf of a client and get a case, get a speeding ticket, maybe dismissed or reduced. And somehow in the paperwork between the lawyer and the clerk's office, that case gets lost, gets misplaced. And so therefore, you could, in a lot of situations, have a bench warrant out for you because you haven't paid that ticket, or you haven't paid the fines associated with that ticket. So that was the issue with my client. So we stroll up to court. They called our name about 4 months ago now. It's 4 months ago. Called her name and didn't went up there. They called my name, and so then I noticed bailiffs were approaching me and my client. They were approaching us, and so I thought, well, heck, what are they doing here? Well, the lawyer informed the judge that my client had some active bench warrants out on her for unpaid traffic tickets. And I'm telling you, if you've never been in that situation before, when the bailiffs approach you in a court hearing, something bad's about ready to happen. So I've seen that before. So when the bailiffs approached us and they kind of, they bookended us, I thought, oh my God, something bad's about ready to happen. And it did. So when they mentioned that to the honorable judge, he looked at the warrant, and the warrant was valid. So he instructed the bailiffs to take my client to the pokey until she resolved those unpaid parking tickets. Very unfortunate for my client. But so despite the fact that the evil aunt says she don't mind if my client sees the child, she had her put in jail. Now you tell me, if you really don't care if a child sees a mother, why would you have them put in jail? She could have easily not done that. So anyway, there we at. So today we had a hearing, and it went well. The judge has got a good judge. There's nothing wrong with the judge. He was just doing his job. So um, we're in a situation now. So when we left the courtroom, we secured the right to at least attend basketball games, attend cheerleading events, and all of the extracurricular activities of my client's daughter. So we secured that. We are entitled to participate and look at the school's Facebook page so that way we can be informed, because before we weren't even getting the courtesy. My client wasn't even getting the courtesy of a phone call or a text message to let her know when her daughter was playing. So we did all that, guys. And so today I felt really good. And also, I asked the judge if he minded if we mediated this case. A lot of times in family law situations, mediation is often better than going to court and having a full blown, drug out hearing. Because I don't think there's any way that we're not going to get visitation. I think the issue is how much visitation we're going to get. My client has cleaned up her act. She's a very stable person now at this point, and has been. And she's willing to submit to any type of test that the court will order. And she'll do that. And so we just really want a way to where we can have contact. That's all. We just want to have some type of contact. And I think she deserves contact. I'm going to adjust my camera, guys. Sorry about that. She deserves some type of contact. So I think we left the court with some contact. Guys, if you've got any questions about visitation, custody, 559-335-3331. Yeah, someone wants to know, can a bench warrant someone in one of the threads here? I've got several guys, by the way, I've got several social media platforms going at the same time here. Uh, I I can't tell I can't tell you what they are, because I think some of these platforms get a little jealous when you mention the name. I will say they're the primary platforms used by most everybody. So someone wants to know, can a bench warrant be set for you if you have those camera tickets? Yes. In some places, those camera tickets are valid, and you can get a bench warrant if, even if you have those cameras. Yep, you can. So pay your daggone tickets, guys. Pay your tickets, pay your fines. Now, I will sometimes, on a lot of those camera tickets, if you read the fine print on the back of those tickets, they will tell you whether or not they're enforceable under the law. In some jurisdictions, they're not enforceable. Someone in the, you know, what? Well, someone in the chat said the child deserves it too. And I could agree with the principle. Now, I can agree with the principle that if everything is good, and if you have a good, solid parent, and they've maybe had a mistake, and they have demonstrated that they have cleaned up and righted the ship, in that case, I believe a child should have the ability to see their parent. But I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm going to give you a big old truth bomb. Those of y'all that follow me on a lot of social media, you know that I love my truth bombs. This is a big, hurtful truth bomb to a lot of people. The fact is, some people don't need to see their kids. They just don't. They can't get out of their own way. They're too busy living their life. And some people don't need to be seeing their babies. That's just the way it is. I believe that I've seen a lot of situations where the parent and the grandparent don't need to see their kids. And interesting about, so a guardian was appointed, and you see this a lot of times in child custody and visitation cases. A judge will appoint a guardian for the child, because oftentimes the standard in any kind of child custody case or visitation, anything that involves a child, generally the standard is what's in the best interest of that child. That's the standard. So, in order to determine what's in the best interest of the child, the court may want the opinion of an impartial person. And oftentimes they will appoint a guardian as that impartial person. And the guardian is tasked with um, interviewing all of the relevant parties, uh, drafting a report, and giving a recommendation to the court after everyone and all of the facts have been analyzed. And the guardian's job is to judge all of the facts through the prism of what's in the best interest of the child. And the older the child is, the more weight, the older the child is, the more weight is given to their decisions. And that's what's tough in this case. We've got a 14-year-old child. We've got a 14-year-old child, and um, we've got a 14-year-old child, and she hasn't seen her mother in a while. So it could be that the evil aunt has alienated her child against her to some degree. So that happens a lot. So that happens a lot, guys. 559 And I always encourage everyone, if you're in a battle for visitation of your child, if you're in a battle, get an attorney. Your life will go a whole lot easier. Your case will go a whole lot more smoothly. The chances of you getting what you want are greatly increased if you get an attorney. If you don't get an attorney, you're going to be floundering around, and it just ain't going to turn out well for you. It just ain't. Most of the time, if you don't have a lawyer, it's just not going to turn out well for you. Guys, 559-335-3331. Let's get some comments up in the chat. Guys, you know the drill. If you're not following me, you go ahead and subscribe here. You can subscribe and follow on all these platforms. I take any and all followers and subscribers. If you get a chance, take a look. I have it's not up here, but I do have a link. Take a look at that. You can see some merchandise and stuff that I have. And I also provide a service to where if you have a real big issue, you can always book a call. You know how to get to that. Book a call. It's somewhere in those little links that we got. A lot of creators have a link. That's not unusual. So just go ahead if you get a minute, take a look at that. I've got a lot of interesting stuff. You can sign up for my newsletter. All kinds of neat stuff, guys. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I think a lot of times, uh, and I call her the evil aunt, and I'm being sarcastic. The lady probably is a nice lady. They didn't have to step up and help my client raise her child. They didn't have to do that, so they did. So for that, I'm gonna give them a golf clap. They're gonna get a golf clap because I think that's a big thing to do. They didn't have to do that, but they have stepped up and helped my client with her child. But now it is time to do the right thing and let my client demonstrate to her daughter that she loves her and wants to be a part of her life. This is all that's what all this is about. My client wants desperately for her child to know she wants desperately for her child to know that she wants to be a part of her life. I think we've got a caller here. This is Eugene. This is Eugene.
Eugene Cisco Jr.
I don't know who that was. We're going to get rid of them, though. Somebody didn't know what the hell they were doing. So, guys, 559-335-3331. I'm looking over here at my other monitor here to see what we've got going on, guys. There is a lot of activity on these platforms, guys. Let's get it on. Let's get us some activity here, fellas. Get this stuff pushed out. I am an attorney, by the way. I should have said that up front. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been practicing law for 25 years. And before that, I worked in mental health. I'm a certified counselor, certified addiction counselor. I'm also a certified family court mediator. So I have been involved in family situations for a long, long time. Uh, I was, so I've seen it all. I have seen it all, guys. So let's participate. 559-335-3331. I'm happy to entertain some phone calls, some messages. If y'all got something you want to talk about, let's try to keep it on the custody issue, the visitation, and we'll even dip into child support if you want to, as we say in the mountains, if you want to. Anything else going on in your all's life? I don't know where my daughter went to. She's supposed to be here checking in on me.
I'm here.
She has abandoned ship.
I'm here.
Guys, I've been looking too. So I'd like to try, always, when I go live here, I like to try to mix in some popular court cases that I watch a lot of court TV. Court TV is very interesting. Um, they always have pretty good cases. There's a case out of Massachusetts, and pardon me, I don't recall the name. Someone will probably tell me. I don't recall the name, but this fella, he's a Serbian immigrant, and he married this lady. Apparently, the lady he married is very well off. She's very wealthy. He married her. This is a couple of years ago. One day after, I think it was a New Year's Eve party. There's some evidence to suggest that he believed his wife was catting around on him, and the story is he's given two statements, I believe, maybe three. He's given three statements already, which is a bad idea. It's a bad idea. This guy has given three statements, and apparently, listening to all the commentators in the case, all of those statements tell a different story, which is why you should never give even one statement to the police, let alone three statements to the police. Because the more you talk, the more likely you are going to say something to incriminate yourself or to screw up your other stories, and it just makes you look bad. Anytime you have a discrepancy in a story that you're telling the police, it always makes you look bad when that case comes to trial. So apparently, this fella thinks he's really smart. He has talked to the police a few times. Uh, and they're all different stories. So the story is he wakes up, he's cleaning, has some cleaning supplies. He's been cleaning house after a New Year's party. His wife, he goes in to check on his wife. She's not breathing. He gives her a nudge. She falls out into the floor. He panics, doesn't know what to do. And it's important to know this guy is already on paper, right? He's on federal paper already. That means he's already committed a crime and the feds are tracking him. It's some type of home confinement situation. I'm not real clear, but he already is being monitored. He's on some type of probation for a prior case. And this is important. When you look at all this stuff, so you got to wonder why a dude finds his wife not breathing and all he does is give her a nudge. But not only does he just give her a nudge, he goes one step further. Uh, at some point during that day, after he loses his shit, he loses his mental capacity to think properly, he begins to cut her up into little tiny pieces and tries to dispose of the body. So this is not very good lunchtime talk, but that's the evidence. That's the evidence. That's what we know. He has already pled guilty to that crime, cutting her up and distributing her body. I think he took pieces of her body all over the country, I believe. I haven't watched all the trial. It's going on right now. I think he's going to testify. His lawyers had indicated during their opening statements that he might testify. So, anyway, distributes her in little baggies, takes her all across the country, drops her off. So really, they don't have a body. They do not have a body here. They don't know the body. They don't know the cause of death. They can't determine the cause of death. So the question for the jury is, did he commit murder? We don't know that because there is no body. All we know is that he has admitted and pled guilty to um, violating and mutilating her body. So, and so why it's important that he's already on paper, this is how this is important. It kind of explains why he lost his shit and didn't know what to do. If you're on paper, if you're being monitored by the feds, the last thing you want to have happen is someone pass away while they are in your house. You don't want that. If you're on probation, you certainly don't want that because that could revoke your probation and you're going to have a problem. So that could explain that, although we don't know that's why he did what he did. If he testifies, I think we'll probably know that. So I've been watching that case, guys. I would commend that to you. Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, Auburn. How you doing, Auburn? Listen, two people contacted me, so I'm going to throw this out here into ether, ether, the air, the internets, as we call it back home. So, two wonderful fans, two people contacted me. Actually, they went to Whitesburg. And as I was leaving the courthouse with my client, they tapped me on the shoulder. And I had a very small time to meet with them because I was trying to pay attention to my client. We took pictures. I didn't get their name, and that was very rude of me. I was just really focused on my client. So if you are out here listening, please tell me who you are. Send me a message. I'd love to give you a shout out. But I'm always flattered when people see me out in public. Truly, I'm flattered. Actually, I get embarrassed. Um, so if you see me out in public, do not hesitate to peck me on the shoulder and talk to me a little bit. I forgot to ask these people their names. I'm assuming it was a husband and wife. They told me that they watch me all the time and that they have a sister in Georgia um, that follows me. So I'm always humbled when that happens, and I would like to give these people a shout out. Let me see. Oh, so y'all are listening to that trial? Yeah, the trial's a good one. Good one, good one, good one. Someone wants to know, do I have an opinion on the Luigi? Yeah, we talked about Luigi last week. I talked about poverty and privilege. It was the title of the podcast. You should be able to see it on my podcast wherever you can, wherever you find those podcasts. I have one. You can check it out on YT here and Spot IFY. You can check it out there. Yeah, I think he needs to go away. I think what he did is a problem. But now he's got some good legal arguments. His defense team has a couple of good legal arguments. This week, they are having hearings on whether or not the government violated his Fourth Amendment when they looked in the backpack and found that weapon that was apparently the weapon was manufactured by a 3D printer, which I didn't know they would even do that. But apparently, those 3D printers can do damn near anything. So apparently, his team is claiming that the police violated his Fourth Amendment right when they looked inside the backpack. You do have a Fourth Amendment right. You have a Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your homes and in your possessions and free from an unreasonable search and seizure by the government. You have that right under our Fourth Amendment. It's an absolute right, except, here's the part, there's a bazillion different exceptions to that warrantless search. Generally speaking, you have to have a warrant before you can be searched, before your home, your car, your person can be searched, except there's about, I think, 14 or 15 exceptions. There might be a little more. But what the government is going to claim is that they believe that he was a danger. They believe that he might have had stuff in that backpack that would have put the officers, the immediate officers, in danger and the community at large. That's what they're going to argue for the warrantless search. They're going to justify the search by saying that they had a right to do it to protect the life of themselves and other people around. Now, the Fifth Amendment, apparently he made a lot of incriminating statements, and apparently he was not read his Miranda rights. Now, this is always a fuzzy issue. Are you in custody or are you just being detained? If you're in custody, then the police have to read you your rights. I think the problem is, when are you in custody and when are you just simply being stopped? I don't know. But Luigi is a smart guy. He absolutely probably knew that you have a Fifth Amendment right to shut the hell up. So I see the Fifth Amendment argument a little more stronger for the defendant than I do the Fourth Amendment. I don't think the Fourth Amendment argument is going to win, but they could get some of his statements excluded. Even if they get the statements excluded, there's a lot of video footage of this guy. Um, so, which places him at the scene. And if the Fourth Amendment argument sticks for the government, then they're going to be able to present all of the evidence that they saw. Apparently, there was a manifesto of sorts, some kind of paper or some kind of a position paper that Luigi had written. So I think the government wins the Fourth Amendment, maybe loses the Fifth Amendment, and I still think we have a trial. But at any rate, all of those things setting aside, I think what he did was deplorable. He was a person, and we talked about privilege a lot. You see a lot of these people on TV nowadays and on social media, a lot of these young people that are protesting are people of privilege. And they're trying to, it seems to me that they're trying to carry the banner for people who don't want a banner carried for them. I certainly, when I was poor, didn't want anybody carrying my water. And nobody needs to carry my water. But these people, I guess, feel emboldened or feel the need or the necessity to carry the water for people that probably don't want their damn water carried. And that's what Mr. Luigi was apparently. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going on what a lot of the media, what the media has said, that he was trying to carry the banner for people who felt maybe. I think he had a grandmother that got sideways with an insurance company, and I think he had some chronic back pain. Again, I'm listening. I don't know that for a fact, so please don't quote me and don't sue me. uh, so he had some chronic back pain and had some health care issues too. Uh, no matter what the reason, you do not have the right to take somebody's life. You don't have the right to take anybody's life because you're pissed off. You just don't. I believe that absolutely. That's the thing with the sheriff case in Letcher County, the sheriff and the judge. There's a lot of rumor going on that the sheriff did something maybe he ought not have done, or that the judge did something to the sheriff's daughter that he ought not have done. Strictly rumor. It's been denied by the family, but that's the rumor. That's what people are saying. That's what gave the sheriff some justification to do what he did. You have no right to take someone's life. There are other ways to solve your problems. I don't care what you think. I don't care what your motivation is, unless you have the right to use reasonable force to repel someone that is threatening your life or the life of someone that's with you. If you come to the defense of somebody, you do have the right to repel that force. That doesn't necessarily mean you have a right to end their life, but you have the right to use, in most states, you have the right to use the force necessary to repel that threat. So Luigi needs to go away. I'm tired of Luigi, although he is a pretty man. I'll say Luigi's pretty. All the women think he's pretty. I think he's pretty. But there's something a little messed up with the dude. So that's what I'll say about Luigi. You asked for my opinion. You got it. He is a pretty man. Yeah. We got a bunch of people in the chat. He'd done what he needed to do. I don't know if that's the sheriff or Mr. Luigi. Either way, you don't have the right to do that. Particularly in that sheriff's case, and I'm tired of you all taking up. That sheriff absolutely knew there were other avenues he could have explored to take care of that judge. If all of those rumors are true, which they're just rumors, but let's say for argument's sake that they're true. Let's say that they're true. That sheriff had undoubtedly put other people away for doing similar things, but he did it through the court system. That sheriff has put many people in jail, I'm sure, for many of the same allegations. That's what that sheriff should have done. He knew better. He wasn't just an average Joe. He was the elected official. He had a higher duty, in my opinion. So no, if you're an apologist for that guy, I think you missed the mark. I think you missed the mark. If you want to talk about it, I'm willing to entertain calls on Luigi, the sheriff in Letcher County, or divorce. We've gotten way off of divorce. We've gotten way off of that topic, guys. not divorce, but child custody, visitation, and we'll even do child support. Well, he may have lost mental control in both cases. Luigi might claim. I'm not sure if he's claiming an insanity defense. I don't know that, but I believe the sheriff is claiming that he was not in full control of his faculties. Again, that's a matter of fact. That's a question of fact. The evidence will bear that out, but it's hard for me to believe. I'm just talking straight with you what I know as a lawyer. It's hard for me to believe that an elected official, now this, he's been elected many times. He's been in the public eye many, many, many years. I think more than 20 years, either as a sheriff or a home confinement officer. So it's hard for me to believe that he just all of a sudden developed a mental health issue. I just don't know. I don't know the facts on that, but that certainly will be evidence that will be discussed at trial. So and they can do all they want to. They can throw a lot of stones now at that judge because that judge can't defend himself, which is really the sad part about that. So you know, I'm just not sure about the arguments on behalf of the sheriff. That's going to be a matter of fact for the courts. So, guys, 559-335-3331. I'm broadcasting on a lot of different platforms. Guys, if you're on all of these platforms, let's talk. Send me some comments. Let's get some feedback so that way these platforms know that we are working hard for you. We're working hard, guys. All right, guys, 559-335-3331. If you want to talk about the sheriff, if you want to talk about Luigi, or if you want to talk about, uh, we've gone way off topic, guys. If you want to talk about custody and visitation, how about let's do that? Let's get back on track and get these comments. I see a lot of people in my practice, and I see it when I go live, when I do a live event. People are really bothered by child support and custody. There's a lot of myths. You know, you hear a lot of people, mostly men, say that the system is stacked against them, that they never get the visitation they're entitled to get because they're a dude. That's not so. Now, always the question is, does the law favor women over men when it comes to visitation and custody? No, it don't favor them. The fact of the matter, the absolute facts of each case depend, visitation and custody truly depend on whoever, let me say it this way, the person that gets the most custody generally is the person that can demonstrate that they have been the primary caregiver of that child. So let's think through this. In our society, women, and again, this is not a chauvinistic viewpoint, that's just the way it is. Don't get your panties in a wad if you're a lady sitting out there watching. The fact is, women are the ones that stay home with the kids. They're the ones that are tasked with the responsibility of making sure that they have the right school clothes on, that they have food in their belly, that they go to the doctor's appointments. The mothers are the ones that are attending school functions, volunteering at school. attending PTA meetings because the man is generally out trying to make a living. So the man naturally, generally, has the responsibility of not being home all the time. A lot of the time, when that child is awake, particularly a tiny child, when that child is awake, the father generally, not always, so don't be coming at me with these silly comments, is generally out, not around the child. So therefore, they can't possibly do what the person that's tasked with the day to day of raising the child. Generally, it's not the man. So to that extent, when you go wallering around court and you have to show who's been the primary caregiver, almost always the woman is going to win that battle. It's not because of her genetics. It's not because of her biology. It's because of the practicality of a lot of the society that we live in. But those roles are reversed, getting more and more where they're reversed. Men are staying home and the women are working. You see that a lot. And in that situation, the man has the upper hand. So it has little to do with biology and more to do with culture. With culture. So, guys, 559, a lot of people are making comments and nobody's calling. If you want to call and share your opinion, that's what this show is supposed to do. Give you an avenue for us to talk instead of just text and type. Come on here and talk and explain your position. If you can do it in a calm fashion, I'm happy to engage and let everybody learn. So let's do that. 559 335 3331. Got a lot of keyboard warriors out there, guys. Keep them coming. You can always follow me, guys, and subscribe, please, to this channel. I love what I do. This is fun. Don't want to talk about got a lot of chat uh, about your individual case. I want to talk about your individual case. I want to talk about the topics and what you think about the sheriff, what you think about Mr. Luigi, and what you think about custody, visitation, how that works out in your life. But I want to talk about an ongoing case. I don't want you to eat up a lot of time talking about your case. Someone here. I'm. I got a comment. I'm a debt collector, and I'll be calling soon. Well, I'm glad you're watching me. I don't know what kind of debt you talking about, Willis. All right, guys. All right, we got a bunch of Luigi apologists here. Love the lights. Thank you, guys. I've got a new setup here. I'm going to try to be doing more stuff from my studio here. We are coming to you live from Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. If you haven't noticed my accent, I'm an old hillbilly from Eastern Kentucky. I was born in Ohio, but now I'm a hillbilly. Just a hillbilly trying to spread the word, guys. Trying to spread the word. Thank you, guys. Yeah, this is fancy. This ain't your regular trailer right here, boys. This is the house that we raised our kids in. This is my office. I've written a couple of books here sitting right at this desk. I'm a writer, I'm a grant writer. I've written a lot of grants, done a lot of things right here in this office. So, where right now I'm going to be coming to you live Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys, around 11:30. Bookmark me, do whatever you need to do. I really enjoy the interaction of a phone call. But if you don't want to call and all you can do is send a text message or in the chat, that's good too. I'm not real good at seeing the chat. You see, if you're watching me, you'll see me glance over to my left. Um, that's because I'm trying to see my phone. I'm going to see some of the chat. I'm missing a lot of the YouTube. I'm missing a lot of the YT chats. So, guys, if there's no calls, I think I've said all I can say. I don't see any questions coming through here. It has been fun. It has been fun, guys. I'm going to get out of this live, but I will be back on the TT here in just a few minutes. I'm going to go grab me just a little bit of bite to put in my belly. But, guys, listen, I'm going to close the show by telling you if life and law collide in your world, and if you live long enough, your life is going to collide with the law. It's going to. At some point, now, some of you, it might not be till you're not breathing, but at some point, your life is going to collide with the law. And when that happens, you need to have you a resource that you can go to help you get your ass out of a crack. If that's your issue, I can help you. You know where to find me. So if life and law has collided in your world, guys, you can do a couple of things. You can give me a holler, or you can book a damn call. How about let's do that, guys? So until next time, this is Eugene Cisco at Real Life and Law. Thank you, guys. Trying to shut it down, fellers. Shut it down, shut it down. I do not see. This happened the last time. I don't see where to end it. So I wonder. Oh, I bet you. I know this is crazy, guys. It's like getting off the stage. It's hard for me to figure out how to get off the stage. Dun, 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 dun. It says record. So I know this is nutty. This, you would think, because if Elizabeth was here, aha, it's down at the bottom, guys. See you later. Thank you.